Welcome everyone. I'll be talking about NFTs as a new asset class. So the question is, why is it such a big deal? Now, if you actually look, non-fungible has been around for a very long time. What has been innovative is the digital side of it. So if you look at the fungibility, fiat is fungible in the sense that if I give you $1 and if you give me back $1, which is your $1, it's the same value, right? But if you look at painting, for example, Mona Lisa, once I give you that painting, the only painting, then there is no other painting because that's the only one. So that's why it's called non-fungible, right? Now, what makes it exciting is the digital side of it. So Bitcoin is called fungible currency, which means if I have one Bitcoin and if you have one Bitcoin, if you exchange the Bitcoins, then it has the same value, correct? Just like fiat. The interesting part is the digital non-fungibility, right? So with NFT painting, especially earlier, what used to happen is if I have a digital art, which is nothing but a JPEG file or a PNG file, you could simply download it and you could upload it in your own Facebook or Twitter, right? So anybody could copy it. But what happens now is with non-fungibility or if NFT, the authenticity is very clear in the sense who's actually the creator and who's the owner. So you can see the provenance, and that is why it has become such a big deal because of the authenticity of the particular collectible. In this case, we're talking about artwork over here. So there are several use cases of NFTs. People talk a lot about digital artwork, but actually you have digital collectibles, physical collectibles, tickets, music, real estate, sports collectible, gaming, and IP and ownership. So let's look at a few of them. Let's look at identity. So for example, passports, our ICs, right? We can actually have it on the blockchain. Once we lose the physical identity, we have to keep making it over and over again. But with blockchain, we don't have to do that because you can simply show your digital identity and that can be authenticated on the blockchain. So is with certificates. Now we have been carrying physical certificates of our education all along, and we are worried, what if it gets lost? Then we have taken go back to the university and ask them for a duplicate. We don't have to do that with NFTs because it will be available on the blockchain, and the authenticity and the provenance in the sense who's actually did the completed the schooling or the graduation is very clearly available on the blockchain. So is the case with collectibles. So NFTs use cases has been a lot on the collectibles, which is digital art, baseball cards, and in-game items, as well as physical assets. So you could actually have your physical, let's say, artwork in the gallery, and you can have the digital footprint of that, which is called the twin, on the blockchain. And when somebody buys the digital, they can actually get the physical. And so is the case with tickets. So what happens is when you have physical tickets, somebody can actually make a duplicate of that and come to a concert. And with NFTs, what happens is you can actually find out who's actually the real authentic owner of that physical ticket. There are a lot of other unique cases, but these are just a few. Now, NFTs has really been in the headlines. Why? Because of the sheer value. So if you look at profile picture NFTs, popularly the popular ones are CryptoPunks. They were sold for 7.5 million. So you can just imagine this particular face that you can see on my screen. Each one of them is sold for 7.5 million. Then, of course, the Beeple artwork, which is 5,000 pieces of artwork, was sold for 69 million and was bought by the guys in Singapore. And then, as Malcolm mentioned about the NBA Top Shot, LeBron James dunking it was sold for $208,000. So these are some of the headlines that has caught NFTs. Of course, there are others like 10-second video clip was sold by an art collector for 6.6 million. And then we have the largest NFT marketplace on OpenSea, where transactions have crossed, in August, it crossed more than 1 billion. So these numbers are slightly outdated. Now, this particular artwork, as you can see, the rainbow cat, was sold for $690,000. Now, you must be thinking, this is something which even my child could do, right? Why is this sold for 690,000? Because whoever has created this and whoever has bought this, there can only be one person. The rest are all duplicates. Jack Dorsey, he tweeted, and his tweet was sold for $3 million. So you can even NFT your tweet. Krista Kim sold her house, a digital real estate, and this was sold as an NFT for $500,000. Even music is sold as an NFT. So you can actually crowdfund your music album through NFTs. And this NFT was sold by 3Law for a record-breaking 3.6 million. Now, after this was bought by whoever bought the music, it was again resold, and the total sales, which is the secondary sales plus the primary sales, was over 11 million. Now, the good thing about NFTs is 3Law not only made 3.6 million on his primary sale, but he also got royalty on the secondary sale. So he made much more than 3.6, which is, if you add the secondary sale, he made more than 5 million. So there are actually 4 main categories of NFTs. You can use them in-game assets, such as weapons, variables, characters, and usually for in-game assets, the ERC 1155 is used, because then you can have a lot more weapons. So you need the ERC 1155 to create the in-game assets token, NFT tokens. Then you have the cards and collectibles. The well-known ones is CryptoKitties. Axie Infinity is now the most talked about. CryptoPunks is the first, I would say, well-known or widely known PFP NFT. And then you have hash marks and sport trading cards. Now, these are usually the ERC 721, which is a unique edition. So there's no duplicate, it's unique. Then you have virtual real estate, which you can even NFT it. So you can actually buy a property by NFTing the property. And then, of course, lastly is the crypto art. But there are also domain names and musics which are being sold as NFTs. The most popular use case of NFTs right now in gaming. The good thing is with NFTs, you actually have the true ownership of your own in-game assets. So that makes it exciting. So you basically trade those in-game assets. And nowadays you even have cross-chain interoperability. And because it's blockchain, it's secure and immutable. Usually for gaming, the ERC 1155 is used. Now, Malcolm shared the landscape of the NFT, but I also have this similar slide. So there are basically different layers. You have the mint layer, then you have the publishing layer, the custody layer, and the transaction layer. So first is the infrastructure. On top of that, you have the minting layer. So I already spoke about ERC 721 and 1155. The publishing layer is where you have the Axie Infinities of the world. And then you have the custody layer, which is the MetaMask. So you need a wallet like a MetaMask to buy and sell an NFT, and also to basically have your NFTs in your wallet. So you need a digital wallet. And then finally, you have the marketplace like OpenSea, as well as you have other marketplaces and swaps. So you can even swap your NFTs. So that's the transaction layer. If you look at the digital collectible markets, its total sales value is 4.4 billion. This is as on Q2 of 2021, August to be precise. And the total NFT sales volume is 26.7 million. A lot of NFT companies has been funded. This is by CB Insights. So the names are Marketplace, Engine, OpenSea, Sorare, and Dapper Labs. So Dapper Labs got almost $386 million in NFT funding. Volumes have gone up. It's already crossed 200 million in March. But if you come to August, it has crossed 2.3 billion. And that is on OpenSea as the highest volume so far. And this is primarily because of the profile picture NFTs. If you look at the 30-day price chart of top NFT projects, Axie Infinity leads the way with a 1000% return on investment, followed by Alice and Theta and Engine. So I'll show you the way you can get all the NFT projects and their coins later in this presentation. So, this presentation would not be complete if I don't talk about profile picture NFTs. So CryptoPunks is the most well-known. If you look at the average price and the number of punks sold, the average price of a CryptoPunk as on June was 180,000. That's the average sale price. And the number of purchases in terms of volumes is 2,000 traded volume every month. But this is outdated. Now, a CryptoPunk is not less than $500,000. The second well-known is Bored Ape Yachts Club. Again, this is also as on August, the average sale price was about $50,000 for one Bored Ape yacht. And the number of purchases every month is about 8,000. So that's the kind of volumes that's traded for PFP. Now you'll be surprised the kind of money that people are making with PFP NFT projects. So the top one is Franksy. He's like the biggest. And you can see his total profit. He made 1,473 ETH. He spent 1,860. His revenue was 3,433. So if you subtract the two, that gives it 1,573. So that's his profit that he has made. That's 85% return on his investment. Now that is only based on what he has sold. So he has sold 38, what he has collected. And the others, as you can see over here, there are a few more. So where are they investing? They're investing in all these projects, Bored Ape, Meebits, Chain, and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at NFTs, there's a floor price. The floor price is basically the minimum price at which you can get these NFTs. And you can see over here, Bored Ape Yacht Club, the minimum floor price is 37 ETH, which means if you want to buy this particular NFT, you need to have at least 37 ETH with you before you can buy. So this is called the floor price, and this is you can get from CoinGecko. Now NFTs are also being used to crowdfund movies, and Lotamara was the first movie to be crowdfunded using NFTs. Even music concerts. Travis Scott had his music concert in the metaverse. So is Ariana Grande in the metaverse. Now, if you look at the total sales volume, look at Axie Infinity. It's way up above Sorare, Decentraland, CryptoKitties. So actually, NFT gaming is the one that is having the maximum sales volume. So we always think of art, but actually it is gaming where the sales volume is coming. If you look at the protocol revenue, look at all the other protocols. On the top, on the right-hand side is Axie Infinity, which stands at 85 million, followed by PancakeSwap, which is only 11 million, and MetaMask. So you can see Axie Infinity is way up there because of its gaming NFTs. The website you can go to is CoinGecko, which I showed you earlier. Another one is CoinMarketCap, where you can click on NFTs and can get all the assets, including the collectibles. So over here, you can see CryptoPunks, Sorare. Over here, you can see for CryptoPunks, what price it is sold for. And then you can also see all the coins, the various coins that are available. Now, a website which you may want to consider to go to before you buy any PFP NFT is Rarity Tools. So it will tell you the rarity of the NFT. But then if you want to buy it, you will have to go to OpenSea. So you look at the rarity at Rarity Tools, but when you buy, you go to OpenSea. I'll be covering a lot in the training session as to how to buy a rare NFT, how to mint your NFT, as well as using your MetaMask in our training session. This is some of the development services which we provide: NFT token development marketplace, smart contracts, and we are launching 4 NFT projects Hollywood punks, Bollywood punks, gaming punks, as well as cricket punks. And I can be contactable on this email address. So thank you very much.